Hi, my creative, amazing friends. How are you doing today? I hope everything is great with you. I had a plan to create a series of vector repeat patterns with flowers, and then I realized that I would love to take you guys along with me and show you how I make my vector elements, in particular roses in this time, for my repeat pattern designs, for my textile design and for my surface pattern design projects. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to draw how to draw roses in Adobe Illustrator CC, and also I will share my technique that really helped me to create my repeat patterns design super fast. Over just a few years, I created more than 5,000 repeat pattern designs. I think it's closer to 6,000 now. So by the end of this video, I'm going to share this method with you. But first, let's start drawing roses. I'm going to switch to Adobe Illustrator. And oh wait, but first I wanted to tell you actually about the source files. So first, the important thing about drawing flowers, if you want to use photos, and I will use photos in this particular tutorial, but sometimes you can also use sketches or even draw from, just create flowers from your imagination. That works too. I often do that too, especially for more abstract and more kind of maybe like cute and children's book illustration based designs, which I do many of those too. I sometimes just use my imagination, but I went with my family to San Jose Rose Garden just last week, and we really enjoyed our time there. The roses are beautiful and everything is blooming and smelling so good. I really enjoyed myself, so I decided to take a few photos. Actually, I took a few photos on my phone, but my husband took a few photos on our DSLR camera, which I really like. And so I'm going to use those today, but a little warning about source files. So if you are planning to use your patterns in commercial products, or just sell them online, or create some designs for the print-on-demand websites like Zazzle or Redbubble or Spoonflower, you should be using your own source files. You cannot copy the photos that you have that you find online or somebody else took, and you should use your own source files and plan strategically which patterns you want to use and which files you want to, which photos you want to take for that purposes. So be careful with that, but for this purpose, I'm using the ones that my husband took, which I have the right to use. I'm so lucky. So let's just jump right into Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to show you how I create vector roses for my repeat pattern designs. Okay, let's go. All right, screen share, Illustrator share. Okay. So I'm going to be, by the way, I'm going to be using my iMac, my Wacom Intuos, Adobe Illustrator CC 2015, and my, of course, the keyboard and the mouse for this particular project. So that's what I'm using. Okay, let's go and create a new file. I'm always using, by the way, CMYK, a color profile, because I often, my patterns often are used in print as well as on the screen. So I find that CMYK works the best for me. All right, so let's create just a square artboard right here. All right. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm hoping that you can see everything. Let me just check. Let me just check if everything works correctly. I hope you can hear me too. Okay, let's go. So let's go, and first I'm going to create a layer. Layer 1 is going to be for my photos. I'm going to import a few photos I have here. and these 3 photos that I already prepared for this particular tutorial. Okay, let me show them to you. So I'm going to explain a little bit my logic behind planning the elements out. So for every pattern, I like, especially the floral one, I like to have one front-facing or top-facing flower like this, a bigger one, and that kind of nice and circular shape. Then I like to have a side view like this one. Then I have to have a bud, maybe a smaller flower that can complement the bigger ones like this one. And you can also use like this little bud right here, totally green one. That's kind of cute too, and add some texture. And of course we will add a few leaves in there. I don't see good leaves on these particular photos, but we will figure it out. Okay, so I think looking at these 3 photos, we will get good elements from here. And I think I'm going to make this the biggest one, the second biggest, the third, and the 4th element. Maybe this one or this one, probably this one. Okay, so that's going to be our layer. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to adjust the artboard like this, so that it covers, covers all the elements right here. Okay. Oh, by the way, about workspaces. So now I have my empty workspace, which I use when I want to clean up all the panels right here. That's a very handy thing that I found for myself. I just came up with it, and so that you create an empty workspace. So, and to further empty it, I hit F5, and basically I delete all the elements that I haven't been used. Often these 2 just are left here, but okay. So let's see. I'm going to use my pattern extended workspace, and here are my accents, of course, that I love. All right. Okay, so here are the layers. So this is going to be a source layer. If we double click on that layer, let's name it source photos. Oops, I close it. Okay, double click back again, and then dim to 50%. There you go. Did you catch that one? So right here, it's dim images to 50%. So that helps you to create kind of like to make them a little bit lighter, so that you can see your drawing more clearly on top. So that's it. We hit OK, and we will lock this layer and create a new layer on top, and we'll call it biggest flower. Okay. So I'm going to focus first on this particular flower right here, and let's get started drawing. So I will do first line art for all of these, and then we'll do colors. Okay, before I dive in, let me check if everything is okay with the audio. If you guys who are watching, if you want to tell me in the chat if you can hear me well, or just say hi, I will check back in a few minutes. If I remember, I'll try to remember, and see if you guys have any questions, or just say hi. Or you can, if you cannot hear me, also please say so. Okay, let's move back to the file. I really like this rose, by the way. It's nice and red, but it has this super cute golden back to the leaf. I don't know how this rose is called, but I'm loving it. I really want to plant a bush of these beauties in my backyard. Okay, so we are going to use just maybe black for now and start drawing our shapes. I am normally using blob brush, but I've been experimenting with using a regular brush too, but I will just stick to my traditional method in this particular tutorial. Okay, So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to repeat the lines right here. Okay, so the only thing is about this tutorial is that it will probably take time. I wanted to do it live, so maybe I can talk to you guys and answer some questions you might have, or just say hi. Just more fun for me. I wanted to do the patterns anyway today. We'll draw the roses. And by the way, I don't stick to the original photo always 100%. I like to experiment and add some of my own lines, and at the end to just kind of see what works and what doesn't. So I don't recommend really sticking to it super closely. Oh, but I already like this kind of abstract texture that is coming out in this particular design. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Okay, I love the photo anyway. All right, so whenever I have these little things, right here, like uneven things, what I do, I actually at the end of normally at the end of my drawing, but let's see, I smooth them out. I hit A and then I just smooth them out like that, maybe get rid of this one. Yeah, so you can adjust as you go. I do not strive for 100% perfection unless the style demands so. I like to keep a little bit of, okay, it went back. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit too thin. Let's go back to 2. Okay. All right. I like to keep a little bit of an uneven texture. Kind of reminds me of more traditional media work. I'm not sure what's going on with this blob brush, but it's behaving a little bit differently that I know after I hit undo. That's strange. Huh. Let's see. Every time I hit undo, it goes to, no, it's not working. That is a bug that I was never experienced before, but this time it worked. Okay, so we have to fix it on the fly. And what we are going to do is we are going to start using the brush instead of blob brush. Okay, so the difference between a brush and a blob brush is that the blob, see, it created paths and shapes. So even though it looks like strokes like this, but it's actually paths. Let me show you right here. There you go. See, it's a path. It's kind of like these rivers. But if I use a brush, no, let me do it. Okay. So we need window brushes. Let's just use a basic one. Okay. And I need to adjust that one. Okay, let's create one. Okay, roundness, size, fixed. Okay, let's try this one. Now I need a smaller one. Smaller, even smaller one. Okay, that's something like that. So, for example, I make a stroke like this, and you can see that there is a difference. This is almost like a river, and this has a stroke in it, which is adjustable. It seems like I've been experiencing some problems with the blob brush after an update. I still have to look into that. But I guess today we are going to continue with the brush. So that's how I would fix things for now. Okay, let's continue then. Alrighty. Okay, so the next important thing is to save the artwork, I'm going to save it in my patterns. Let's see, it's still thinking. Patterns, floral patterns. Okay, and let's do let's call it Rose Garden Seamless Stock. Okay, I will create a folder like that, and I will call this, I will delete stock, and I will call this elements, so that I know it's not a pattern, it's just the elements for the pattern. All right, okay, let's move on. I've been enjoying roses very much this year, in particular because I've been running more. I started running a running habit recently, and I've been enjoying to be outside much more this spring. And since we moved to the Bay Area in California, there are so many beautiful flowers, and in particular roses on the streets in my area. I'm really enjoying it. So I felt very inspired to create beautiful, to create flowers, to create floral patterns based on all the beautiful flowers I see on my streets every day. All right. So let's see. Yeah, blob brush seem to be working better. I never had this problem before, actually. I mean, maybe not many years that I've been working with blob brush, it always worked well, and for me it was actually even better than the brush for some reason. But with brushes you can actually do many cool things, because you can adjust the width, you can adjust the stroke width, I mean, you can adjust the colors and shapes. Let me see, I think I might like a little bit to adjust this a little bit like that. Let's see, that helps. Oops. Okay. So the elements actually can be pretty cool, because you can edit them after you are done with your drawing. You can edit them possibly even better than with a blob brush. But I love blob brush too. I just have to figure out what's the problem with it. If any of you know how to fix that problem, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear, or if you even have this problem, or is it just me that I'm so lucky? Okay, let me fix this one. So the difference is that over there I would just use eraser, but over here I can use the curves. Okay, almost done with this one. I promise I will finish the rest faster, so you don't have to sit through many hours of the video, unless you want to. Okay. All right. There you go. Maybe here's some bit right here. Okay, so I have a rough save. Okay, let's save it. Okay, I have a rough drawing over here, and let's turn it off and let's see what happens with it. So now I see a few bugs that I don't really like that much, and I want to fix. Okay, so there's a moment here that I want to add this pretty round center of a rose. Let's see if that will fix it. No, well, the top one fixed it, but the bottom one didn't really. Let's see. Okay, let's try again. This one. All right. Okay, let's try to fix it one more time. Let's see if that works. Okay. I will keep it for now and maybe we'll fix it with color. I think the color will work in this one. And I feel that this could be interesting. Let's see. So now at this stage, I keep going back and forth, and I see I haven't finished this line here. I keep going back and forth and adjusting until I am satisfied with the shapes. I really like this kind of not traditional rose shape on this flower. I think I will keep this one a little bit kind of like not very typical. Okay, let me adjust some of these things here. And I will clean them up. I will show you how I clean them up a little bit later. Okay, let me save this and go back and check on my video. Okay, I see 6 viewers here. Hi guys, I hope you can see me and you can hear me too. Thank you very much for being here, really appreciate it. Okay, let me go back to the drawing. Okay, so I will move on without cleaning up all these little issues here, just because I want to save some time in this tutorial. But I will just go back and clean them up later as I go. Okay, so we have this rough, bigger flower here, and let's call it biggest flower outline. I mean the layer, we'll call it that way. Okay, so we'll do another layer of this second biggest flower. Outline. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. All right. I would really like to start from the center. I think the center is my favorite in most of the flowers, in almost any flower. All right. Mm-hmm. That goes a little bit differently. A little bit like this. I really enjoy the smell of roses for some reason. Well, they smell very nice, very sweet. And they actually, many of them smell very differently, but still it's recognizable that it's a rose. And in my in my country, sorry, we even have a jam made of roses. It's like a special, I think it's a special type of roses. And I think in France they use this jam too. Because I was looking for this jam in the United States, and I found the French version. So that's kind of cool. It really smells nice too. I wonder if there are jams made of other flowers, not only out of roses. Okay, I will show you how to clean up and join all these little lines together. I tend to use blow brush normally, but today it's not cooperating with me, so this will work too. All right. Okay, save just this one. Okay. I like my roses to have a little bit of a abstract feel to them. I tend to work more in kind of illustration style, not very realistic style, but maybe more, I would say, mosaic style. I really like the mosaic design. It makes a lot of nice elements for patterns. I never really strive for, at least I've never tried, I guess, or wasn't very interested in doing the more realistic designs. But you know what? I actually, now that I think of it, I should try to do more realistic too, just to develop myself more in that direction. But today I'm going to rely a little bit more on how I do things already. And maybe in my next or one of the next tutorials I will do, I think I changed this one a little bit. I'll fix it up. Almost done with this one. And then we'll test for some mistakes. Command save. Okay. So let's take the photo away and let's see what we have. Yeah, that one ended up to be very abstract, which I kind of like. I think it will make interesting texture. Okay, so this one is a little bit more traditional. That's nice too for some of the styles and patterns. And I will show you why I'm interested in a few different ones. Okay, while we are here, let's do this little guy right here. I think it will be and I will show you how I organize it. Small bud. Okay. So I try not to attach the whole flower to the stem and to the little bud. And I will tell you why. Because if first I ended up having, when I did that, I ended up having to cut off the flower all the time, because sometimes I wanted no stems and just the flowers, or no leaves, or you can do many things. And it's much more versatile to keep all the elements of the flower separately. So I'm going to draw this little guy right here separately from this flower. And I will show you in my part 2 of this tutorial, when I start creating patterns, how that's helpful. So, okay, let's do this one. It's kind of cute. I like it. I will simplify it a little bit. Right. Let's keep just a few leaves here and here. I should have done that in the first place, not to have the hassle with joining this. But okay. And what I do, I connect this right here. So that's very important, to connect it to kind of finish the shape. So let's see, take this away. Okay, we have a simple bud. All right, on the next stage, I will show you how I add some details to the flowers in a few different ways. So we have a simple bud. And now we'll finish this one. And I think for the sake of the length of this tutorial, I'm going to continue with colors after this. Okay, and let's do just the layers, and let's do medium bud outline. Okay, we named the layer. Command save. Okay, let's do this one. It's a little bit cut off right here, but it's okay. We can come up with our own way to finish it. And you might have noticed that I am using the same width. It has little bugs right here, but we'll adjust that. I'm using the same width of the brush for my line art, because I like to keep it, to vary it later when I add some details. All right, let's see, fix this guy. Okay. Yeah, see, there's a little problem right there. So there's a little issue, something. Oh yeah, that's how I remember that sometimes you can fix it, or sometimes you can make it worse, like that. See, all right. Yeah, I will fix it the next stage. All right, next. Mm-hmm. Is that a bug? Yeah, it is a bug. Yeah, Illustrator has not been very cooperative with me today. It's been giving me some bugs. Okay, I'll have to go back and fix that one on the next stage. All right. Roughly some. I really like to kind of follow how my hand wants to do it. Sometimes just like go with the flow. And then I'll do some tweaking and adjusting. Yeah, let's fix it. Yeah, bugs. All right. I'll do something like that here. All right. Now let's check. Okay. So that's what we have so far. I might try and do something else with this top leaf right here, actually. Let me see if I can adjust it a little bit differently. So sometimes if I'm not I don't really like how the photo ends up with some elements, so I like to kind of experiment and try a few. Actually, keep that one for now. And try a few versions of my own, just so that oh yeah, I think I like this one better. Okay, maybe I will add a little bit one more over here. Yeah, okay, I like this one better. So we have this abstract flower right here, the more traditional side view flower right here, and side view bud over here. Alrighty. Okay, let me check if everything is going well. All right, I think it's working. Okay, let's move on and finish the stem over here. I think for this one, I like to keep these leaves for this flower, but what I'm going to do, if I'm going to draw them with another color so that I can make actual shapes with them, draw these rough leaves, and I'm going to put them under the flower. Under the flower, kind of hide them. Oops. Hide them behind the flower. So now it looks a little bit strange, but I'm just going to draw these little guys and create the shapes like this. So it's basically overlapping. It's going to hide under my flower later. Okay, and so that's it for now. All right. So now that we finished our rough outline, what I like to do is I like to add some details. So let's go into the biggest flower. I'm going to group all of these lines together, and I'm going to select another color, maybe blue. Okay, and I'm going to add some details. So let's see. What I'm doing is, and I'm going to do, let's see if I can do even smaller one. No, cannot do that one. Stroke. No, not like that. No. All right. Let's see. I have to adjust back the size of this. It's a little bit tricky sometimes to get it all right. Yeah, it's glitching on me today, guys. I'm sorry. But it's okay. We can always get through it if we keep trying. Okay. Nope. Huh. That is not very good. Let's see. Let's go back to this one. Not sure why this is happening. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, what we can do is probably because my artwork is pretty small. I like to work in small sizes because that's how I make my patterns, in pretty small sizes. But what we can do is, yeah, okay, we can do that. We can take all that we have here, we can scale it to make it much bigger. Let's check. Yeah, that should work. And now what are we going to do? You're going to select all our outlines and do, let's do 1 pixel, about 1.5. No, 0.5. There you go. Let's check with our, no, that's a little bit too thick probably. Okay, once again, let's do 1. All right. So this is how I would solve this issue. I would adjust the size if the brush is not cooperating with smaller thickness. And then I would go back, lock all the layers, go back into this one, the biggest flower, and start drawing some. Can I do even smaller one? Try again. Yeah, that's probably the smallest. Okay. Then I'm going to try this one more time. And just scale up and adjust the thickness to 2 pixels. Let's see. check. All right, worked out. Okay, go back in, do the elements. So what I enjoy is that I like to add these kind of stripes to show the volume, kind of to see where our curves go. Then I like to add these stripes, something like this. It's a little bit more interest to the flower, and it's a little bit more abstract, more modern, which I like. So I go follow along the curves, excuse me, and add some stripes here and there. Because actually, as you can see here, roses do have little stripes, little veins. And I like to keep them and use them to make the artwork a little bit more interesting. Okay, let's see what we are getting. So, on this one, you're definitely getting some very interesting abstract shape, which I'm, to be honest, very happy about. Because in this way, I can create more patterns that they will go well with these roses, and I can go more traditional route. I can go more abstract route, and they could look interesting. At least I feel so. Okay. So this is how I would go about it. And added some stripes like that. Okay, just a few more. Over here. And why am I using not the black color, but the blue color? It's because I want to keep them separate and know where everything is and be able to group these as I want them. To be able to group them and recolor them, or actually even take them away if I want something less detailed. So I'm going to go and talk. I'm going to not go, but stay and talk to you guys about how I approach my elements. So I don't really see this rose as a rose. I see it as a potential patterns. So, and as I make my elements, I always scan for the ways to make different patterns. Maybe it's not a rose, maybe it's the kind of some kind of abstract shape, which ended up to be, it looks like it. I might not even use it as a rose, I might use it just as an abstract shape. And I just keep the flow of it open and see how everything works out on its own. Okay, so this is the interesting element that we ended up creating. And if I add the color strategically, I'm pretty sure it's going to look like a rose. But in this artwork form, I really like it how it has these little loops and stripes, and I think it might be interesting as a pattern. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that I will use it as a texture. Okay, so let's move on to this one. I will use the same blue and just add a few stripes with my brush. Right here. I like to add the stripes a little bit thinner. And a little bit randomly. So that they are. Sometimes I follow the curves, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I put them close together, sometimes I separate them. Whatever I feel like. I like this stage because it's just very, very creative and flowy. And I get to design my elements, so that's what I enjoy. Okay, we're almost done with this stage. I just have one element to work with left. So first, after I'm done with this one, only I think one left. Maybe I think I'll add a little bit to that one too. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. And then we'll get to coloring and actually organizing my elements. So it's very, very useful if you can see your elements as little soldiers working for you. And I end up using all the elements from other patterns very often. I don't think it's the only way of using your patterns and designing your patterns. It's just the way that worked for me. So if you just want to use the element once, it's perfectly fine. Of course you can. But I like to play with my elements. I like to revisit them. I like to restructure them. I like to take them apart. All right, let's do something with little guy too. Here. Okay. So add a few like that. And then if you have these little elements that you can use for your work for years to come, and the important thing is if you save them properly, and then you can use them for years to come. If you forget about them, then you cannot. I often remember them by looking at my older patterns regularly. Oh wait, you know what I did? I put these little stripes in the wrong layer. Okay, let's just go back and look. Okay. Go back and move these little elements on the proper layer. Save. Okay, and we have our medium bud left. Okay. Let's put these guys, group them, put them back. Command X and Command B. Okay, and then let's add some stripes to this one. I like to keep bridge files and bridge galleries with my elements, and also I used to keep them in the symbols palette right here. But now it just gets too big for my files. So I'm still tweaking my way how I organize my elements so that I can use them again. And I don't think that all artists do that. It's just, I think it's my experience because of my microstock work, is that you can create, you want to create as many files and patterns and illustrations with your already existing elements as you want, and it's in your interest because this is how you save a lot of time and make a lot of patterns over just a short period of time. I made many patterns in just a year. I think around 2,000-3,000 just a year recently. And I haven't been working full time on that, on my microstock designs. I did also past client work. Of course, I never reuse the elements from my client work unless they were rejected. Then I can use them, but I cannot reuse the client work if they are under exclusive license. There you go. This is the structure of our elements that we are having, our little soldier roses. Let's add just a few, maybe add another color, just a few over here. And I use different colors so that I can group them easily and expand them easily or recolor them. There you go. Fix. There you go. Okay. I will group these. Why is it selecting? Oh, okay. Illustrator. All right. So here we have our elements, and here we have our flowers. So that's what we came up with today. I'm going to save now. On to the next stage. I'm going to save this as a copy of it. Elements, and I'll call it elements expanded and color. Color. Save. Okay. So I'm going to, for now, turn off the photos, and I'm going to show you guys how I would go about the next stage for this element. Let's do second video. Let's do this one. So I'm going to before I expand, I wanted to show you. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to expand this all, and by expanding, I get rid of the strokes, and I get these shapes, path, not path, more of a shape. The same as I would do if I had a blob brush. The only problem is, not a problem, but it's just how it works in this tool, is that you do not get these guys all lined up. Oh, I'm sorry, not lined up. I mean, they are not attached to each other, because with the blow brush you get them attached, but with this one you don't. Okay, now I can group them easier. So I can select all the blue ones and group, and I can actually get rid of them or keep them. And I can select all the black ones together and group. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to join all the black ones. Save. Okay, so I'm going to start working on another version of this element. So, and what I mean by version is I'm going to populate a few different versions on this artboard, different elements. So this one will just recolor these blue ones and just make them black, like that. Okay. That's not black. It's white. Excuse me. Okay, so that's basically our rows. And what about we did group them together and color it pink. So there you go. You have a pink rose right there. So it still looks like an abstract shape now, and you can do interesting textures with it, and I will, believe me. But then what you can next do with it is color it. Okay, so what I would do it, I would go back to black. I would, for now, hide these guys. And I will show you how I color it. So we have all these paths. They are all joined. Double check. Yes, they're all joined. And what I would do is I double click on the path on the edge right here. And then this way you can actually drag the pieces. And it's like a little mask. See, this piece goes together. No, I cannot color that one from here. But if I take it out of the shape and the outside, so that's a separate piece. So I use that for coloring my elements. First of all, let's do the base shape. I copy this shape and always go outside, go escape, escape. Oops. Keep the rows in place and go back and do the color. So you can see that it's colored. We filled it all with color. Now we have a color for our rows. Oops. Oopsie daisy. What we need to do is to scale this artboard. Okay. Because our rows are so big, you know what? We can actually make them. I think we can make them smaller. Oh no, probably I want to keep the colors just in case. Yeah, I will keep them. Okay, so here we have just the basic one. Now what we'll do is I will select again, go inside the shape by double clicking on the path on it. I select the edge, the very edge of the flower again. Then I go select inverse. And do you see the edge is deselected, but all the pieces are selected? Then what I do next, I hit Command C, copy the pieces, go outside of the shape, and hit Command F. They will look all black. I group the pieces, that's important. And then you can see that it looks as if we have different color flower. But what we actually have is a flower like this with no outline. There you go, another element for your patterns. Okay. Okay, let's go get it back and maybe copy it to the side so that I can see all the interesting element possibilities that we have here. All right. Okay, so what we can do next is we can color these little pieces separately. Okay, how about for example, let's do a red rose. Maybe like nice pink, like that. Just a little bit more red. Okay. And what I want to do is I want, for example, to keep the outline. You know what, let's do it on a separate layer. So it's easier to manage. Okay, and save. And let's do, then what I do, I use the hit A, direct selection tool, the white arrow, and just you click on a few separate pieces, adjust the colors. There you go. Do a few colors. Few more colors. Let's do that one closer. So you kind of go through all of them and color as you want. So that you can end up with some interesting versions of your color. So that's kind of like a more monochrome version of it. Okay. Let's do this one a little bit darker, and this one even darker. So I don't really, it's more of an abstract coloring method in this version of an element. Okay, so what would work better in this case if I select this one and click on white, and all of a sudden we have a much more gentle rose. over here. And what else we can do? We can go back and show all. And we have our little stripes. And put them on top, group. And we have an interesting rose like that. For our design, do you see that there are a few, well, many different possibilities? How about we just take these stripes? Probably, I think, make them darker. See, that's kind of interesting. Oh, Command X and Command F. There you go, another version of this style. So this is how I go on and on, creating all these different flowers and different types of elements for my repeat pattern designs. Okay, so that's my process of how I go about it. Let me get some water right here. Okay, if I like this version without, only with colors, without the lines, so I can keep that one separately too. So we already have a few different styles that we can use. Okay, what we can do with the coloring, let me try one more thing here. Okay. Oh, wait. That's kind of interesting too. Look at this one. Yeah, so basically you just kind of move them around and rotate them and try a few things until you get a few different types of artwork. But what I do is I copy some interesting things to the side without just adjusting the same element, so that I can have inspiration for many patterns. That's what I do. Okay. And then I would just follow similar with, after having a few different styles, I would just pick a style and finish the different other elements in this style, like this rose and that rose and a little bud right here, and make a little composition. For example, I really like this style. How about we take this little element? I actually like them all, but I'll take this little element, the small bud, and for, let's say, we want to move it to this active layer right here. Okay. And we want to, okay. We want to work on it to match this style. So we have this little shape. Let's expand first. And appearance, connect the blacks, connect the blue. Okay, let's, then again, what we do is, for example, I want to keep it, let's say I want to do a matching kind of light blue. Okay, if you just select and click on it, it will not, see, it will just click color the outline. So we want to copy the outside path, go back, paste it back, and let's say click on this one. And then let's recolor these to white, and let's color these to darker blue. Yeah, and then what we can do is we can copy this one, add it to, harder to see, okay, I'll add it to here, and actually join these guys so that we have these interesting little shapes inside to color. Let's say I just want to color a few of these. C, F, and adjust the color. There you go. So let's say we want to keep this one and that one. now what we can do is we can hide them behind. And see what I mean? Don't add them, don't merge them. But now this little element becomes very interesting because we can just use it like that. Okay, see, and it's coming together. All right, what else do we have here that we can use? How about we can quickly follow the same instructions for this little rose and make a little composition. And then in the next part, I will show you how I would go about making patterns with all these new elements that I created. Okay, let me get this medium, copy of this medium flower. Okay, you know what I can do? I can just move these guys some different directions. Since I don't think I will end up using the actual flowers for now. I want to make a little bit more space for this flower. Let me take these. I don't want to hide these ones since I might get some inspiration from them. Okay. I messed up a little bit. It's okay. We all mess up from time to time, and it's okay. All right, again. Try this one. Copy. Unlock all of them. Move all of them to the side so that I have a little bit more space to work on this one. All right. It is a little bit messy, guys, but that's how it goes. Okay, let's lock all of these and just keep our layer 6. And let's add this little flower over here. Okay. Now, so we again we repeat all the steps here. I have to be careful with the order. Okay. So first let's select all of these guys and expand. Now let's select only black and group, blue and group, dark green and careful. That's what I mean by careful. Group. Let's do maybe just some other color for now. And these little green guys group together. Okay. Back. So first of all, we will do the first of all we have to join these black ones. Now we're going to paste to the back. And yes, let's use this color. Now we're going to color these with this darker one. When you have the colors figured out, it's easier. Okay, and now we go in, select the outside, select inverse, again, copy, and put it in front, and always group. So just so you know, that's what I copied. No, wait. Yeah, so that's what I copied. So what we are going to do now is we are going to copy this, all of this, maybe this medium color. And now we're going to select some of these, like that. This one. Let's do this one darker again, and let's do these inside ones even darker, even darker. There you go. Yeah, I'm using I forgot and I started using my mouse, but it will go faster with the. Oh, that's interesting already. Yeah, maybe something like that. Let me just touch a little bit lighter here. Okay. This one. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. Let's do, oh, sorry, white. Black outline to white. And let's return our stripes. We went back. Put them on top of these guys, and let's copy our right lines on top. So there's a little flower, matching flower that we have for this design. And what else we can do? We can color these guys according to this little flower, or yeah, this little bud. So let's make them blue. Copy the outsides. That have to go in pretty much inside. That one not gonna always have to be connected to. Oh, that was the problem. They were not joined properly. Go outside, paste it back. Let's do blue again. Okay, these have to be joined properly. Now what we can do is we can take these guys out, ungroup them, and that's going to go faster. Okay. Oh, I see some bugs in here, so we can fix those up super fast. Let's do 3. Okay. Okay. So let's make sure that that one is joined. So we take only this outside shape, put it back, and color. Wait, that one has to stay dark. This will hide under. Okay. Outside shape, back, no. Copy, back. Why is it coloring the top one? Okay, it can be colored. It's glitching on me, guys. It's glitching on me again. But I can still do it. I can do it. I can do it. Merge. Back. There you go. Let's group these little guys together. In this case, group. Alrighty. Okay. Group again. Okay, now that's what I mean by group, having all the elements separately. Because in this way, we can kind of use them. And now we can see that we have this little composition here. Need to adjust it a little bit, and maybe we need a little stem over here, right there. Okay, let's do a little stem. So I would just draw the thickness of the brush strokes do not cooperate with me today for some reason. Okay. Okay, let's just draw one blue. And what's important to have here is that it's important to join them and think of them as little stick that you deliberately add to your plan. So if you make a vector, it's not exactly just drawing, it's actually a plan. Okay, so we have a little bit of an uneven thing here. Oops, sorry. First expand and then join. And then fix it up a little bit. I just hit Command A. Okay, and fix it up. There you go. So what we're going to do, we are going to make it a little bit bigger. And we are going to again color it. Okay, and group. So these are the elements that we have. And now we put it back so that there is a little stick and just this one. There you go. So there's we have a little composition here. And my hand starts to hurt. So I think I'm going to put an end to this tutorial at this stage. So this is our part 1. And these are the elements that we have. And you can take them apart as you want and mess everything up. But good thing that we have Command Z, so that we can come back. Okay, let's see all the mess that we created today. Oh, sorry. Okay, so these are the elements that I ended up picking. But we created a few different elements that with a proper style would be rather interesting to work on. That's what I'm going to do next week, as I'm going to show you guys many different patterns that I created and how to create them using these different elements and combinations of them and different types of patterns that can be interesting to try when you have elements created. All right. So let me go back. Okay, let me change back to my screen here. How do I do it? Here's screen sharing. Stop. Okay. So I'm here, guys. Woo, that was fun. I really enjoyed working on these different types of elements, and to tell you why I do all these types of elements before I create my patterns is that I can make a collection of them and have tons and tons of elements, and then I can combine them with other elements and do all kinds of fun, interesting things with them. And sometimes even 5 years later, or 10 years later, or possibly even 30 years later. So in Vector, these are your assets. You should think of them that way, and that's very helpful. That will super help you down the road after you organize them and learn how to use them properly. So I hope you liked my long tutorial today and spending some time with me live on my YouTube channel. Please leave your comments, questions, or suggestions below if you know how to fix some of the bugs that I encountered today. I would love to know if you have a solution for me, guys. And did you find this information helpful? Did you find my workflow helpful? And thank you very much for watching once again. Please hit that like button for me. That really helps me out a lot. And share this video on your social media if you feel that you have friends that might benefit from these videos too. Grow, love, and create. Thank you once again. Bye.